How's it going? My name is Maurice Johnson, and I currently work for Matthews Nissan of Paris as the warranty administrator. 5 years ago, I used to work for Honda of Paris as the lube technician for the Express Bay. 2 years into the dealership as the lube technician, the dealership eventually hired two more technicians to work along beside me. This allowed me and gave me the opportunity to show my leadership skills amongst these two technicians with a little bit of knowledge that I did know and how to guide them in the right direction in order to do a job correctly as a lube tech. Still working with Honda Paris and the two new technicians that came in. I have been working with these two for about a year now. This is coming into 2018, and this is when I first started the program for organizational leadership. So now with working along beside the two technicians and then now beginning to start the program, uh, this is now going to open more opportunities for me to venture out and learn different strategies of how to approach and define what it means to be an effective leader. Now with having the opportunity of having two technicians that work along beside me and actually follow through with different motives and different skills that I have taught and applied and got them to understand on why the importance of the way I do these steps. So now with getting into the organizational leadership, now this is being able to broaden my horizon of how to know how to approach different steps on when learning different courses and different material of as a lube technician, and how to go about applying different guides and different mechanical skills towards each jobs. So now this is into the first of the year, and I've learned into into the new program. This course of organizational leadership is understanding the issues of organizational leadership. But before you can understand the issues, you got to understand what an effective leader is into an organization. Well, in order to understand the issues of an organization, you got to have an effective leader, like I said. And with this effective leader, this leader has to be able to influence his group, his team, any members that he's a part of. And with this team or any of the staff members, what he's doing to be an effective leader is influencing them to achieve and all goals that need to be met and succeeded within the organization. Also, this defines on what leadership means and how to get into leadership theories. This is not Leadership is not considered a trait, a behavior, or nor a position as well. This is a leader. An effective leader is someone who is able to influence his team in order to succeed in all common cause. So to become an effective leader, you must be an influential leader. And in order to be an influential leader, you have to be a motivational leader. Now, with all three of these put together, we'll set common goals at all times and at all costs. You'll have an effective team. You'll have a team that will look up to you. You'll have a team that will put full trust in you, and you'll have a team that will never question your judgment when it comes to applying certain leadership skills in certain situations. Now, to improve with me understanding the issues of the organization or into the organizational leadership in the Express Bay, working with the two technicians that I work with, I will definitely have to understand the leadership theories that is applied in understanding the issues of the organizational leadership. You need to understand the issues of the organizational leadership. I'm going to have to understand the five leadership theories that are applied into the issues of the organizational leadership. And these five leadership theories are going to be transformational leadership, leader member, adaptive leadership, strength-based leadership, and servants leadership. The second course would be the data-driven decision making. That's also applied into the organizational leadership. Um, Still working for Honda Paris. Honda Paris is a little small little small dealership, but in the sense though, even with being a small dealership, we always thrived and doing our very best and getting each job that came through, or any service test that came through, and got it done in a professional and timely manner. Me and all my team members, we would always fully inspect every single vehicle inside and out, always giving us a chance to be able to relay all information back to the customer so they can understand what is needed and what they feel like is more important when it comes to servicing their vehicle, and what needs to be serviced and needs immediate attention. Um, Also, with this dealership too, we stay in competing with other businesses, and so we always are out there trying to influence with other customers and trying to show them that we have the better deals within our dealership. And when it comes to doing service tasks for their vehicles, whether it's a fluid service change, whether it's a fuel service change, or whether it's a filter change, or in that sense of nature. Uh, Following up into the leading role as the loop technician leader, and then following up with the two technicians, my role was to make sure that every service ticket that was wrote up by the service department and was passed on to us, that we made sure that each step was followed and was applied to each service job, whether it was filters, whether it was a fluid change, a tire rotation, or just a basic oil change. Every week, at the end of the week, I would get with both technicians, and we would actually exercise each one of the steps for each one of the job performance, just to ensure and to make sure that each one of the technicians understood and knew how to ensure each one of the jobs correctly. Therefore, then that way, if anything happened, there shouldn't have been anything that happened that will reflect our job performance, and if anything would be reflected, would be our time performance. It is beneficial to the organization as well as to me as a leader in the organizational leadership, also which applies to the organizational leadership program. Um, Using different data strategies such as clock times for work orders gives us a scenario and a sense of understanding how long we're taking for different services when it's applying either just an oil change and a rotate, or if it's an oil change rotate, fluid services, also including filter services. There's timely manners for each one of those job services, and with me going over each one of the clock time numbers, this allows me to justify and get a good understanding how long we're actually taking between different job services and how long we're taking to maintenance these customers' vehicles. So therefore, like I said before, I conduct meetings and with both technicians, and for them to understand, and we exercise each one of these steps every week at the end of the week. So then therefore that way we know we got a great understanding and a sense of clarity on how each job is performed and how it should be performed, and in such amount of time for the that way when survey scores are done and surveys are done for the dealership and for the service department, we can rise our numbers up to and show a great increase within the department, which also will lead into more customers returning back to the dealership for such great customer service. Long into the career of the organizational leadership, I'm getting started into the behaviors, ethics, and leadership, which now, as moving into the next two courses of this program, I also got promoted to go work for moving from Or Honda of Paris. A new franchise and a new owner came in by the name of John Matthews, which created both new stores into Matthews Honda of Paris and also Matthews Nissan of Paris. So I was given the opportunity and granted a promotion to move to Matthews Nissan of Paris and work as head counter in the parts department for Nissan. Behaviors, ethics, and leaderships into this, which is also going to be dealing with technicians, going to be working with my parts department manager, going to be also working face to face with customers at the front counter, also face to face with salesmen and service advisors as well, with different types of behavior and going into different roles and situations and ethics that is applied to the leadership. Well, now working in the parts department, I'm dealing with something a little bit different, and this is going into deliverance of sales for each month. So therefore, I'm working with my parts manager, and we work together along with the technicians, along with the advisors as well. So with this in play, this gives me the opportunity to share motivational skills with everybody amongst the team, which is along with the advisors, the technicians, and as well as my parts manager. We come up with different scenarios and situations in order to make a successful repair order done in a timely manner. We're able to order parts in a timely manner, so then that way we can get the job completed and successfully done, and as well as back on the road in a safe position for the customer to take home. Self motivation is encouraged all the time with all the team members. Inspiring, encouraging in everything that each one of your team members are doing in order to make each job situation or each job performance a successful performance. Like I said before, ordering everything that needs to be ordered for each job service that needs to be fulfilled and succeeded into. As me being a leader, I express new ideas and new opinions to each and every single person on the team, as well as they do the same back with us, and we're able to come up with a solution that where we can meet in the middle, to where we can all be beneficial in all each one of the departments, and as well as the whole entire store, and making a complete sale and making a profitable sale. Showing these type of encouragements and motivation, it becomes essential to know how to communicate with all team members. Aligning and mobilizing leadership traits. This allows me to challenge all my other teammates and develop certain directions for accomplishment in what we do in servicing customers' vehicles. Inspiring these different leadership traits allows teammates to do more and encourage themselves to do more and motivate others as well to do more. Now, I know that there's 5 different leadership theory traits that are applied throughout the different parts of the organizational leadership, but not saying necessarily each one is more important than the other one, because without one of the other ones can't function. So therefore, each 5 of them is in much need and is just as necessary as the next one in order for the way that these different traits are applied throughout the organizational leadership. And you need each one of these traits in order for each one to comply the correct way throughout the different services that are applied throughout the dealership. Each one of these traits are going to show importance in each way of with the leader, as such as myself, applies throughout the different services with each one of the technicians. So I apply each one of 5 of these traits throughout the dealership, and as well with my team members, in order for us to be successful and achieve each one of these goals that we need to achieve in order for us to be compliant with everything that we do as a lube tech and as well as in the express lane service. Moving into further into the course, you got the leadership theory traits. Now applying these leadership theory traits with the new position that I'm in as the head counter for the parts department, I have a transformational leadership. So I'm using this transformational leadership, and it applies a lot with the advisors as well as the technicians. And with what I'm doing with this transformational leadership is I'm being influential to my team members with showing encouragement and motivational encouragement in going about doing services for jobs and making it more beneficial to all 3 of us. So then that way, all the jobs that we come in contact with and approach with, we're able to be more beneficial with it and more in a timely manner. Into the next theory trait, we're looking at the leader member exchange theory. Um, you got pretty much one or two ways of going into it. You got the ones that you can follow, but they're not necessarily doing it the correct way, maybe doing it halfway and getting it done. But then you got the ones that you could follow, who do it right the first time. Granted, it takes a few more extra steps, but that's what those extra steps are applied for in order to do that job correctly. So, with that being said, I am the type of leader in the leadership department. When it comes to leading by example, I make sure I take every caution and every step that needs to be applied for a job well done and for a successful or succeeding job. I will take the initiative to apply every single step, so then therefore we lead by model, do the job correctly the first time without having to come back and correct it a second time or a third time. A fourth time should not be, it's not compliant. Now, going back into position of being an effective leader for the head counter department, uh, I'm an adaptive leader. So therefore, I'll go ahead and already know the position of how the workload is for the department, and knowing exactly how the upper management, such as the director, such as the general manager, understanding exactly how they would prefer services to go. And throughout this organizational leadership courses, we're supposed to be understanding and learning the competency of what it means to be an effective leader in the organization. So, um, what it's based off of is being an effective leader is based off the strengths that are provided, that is given throughout all of the departments, all the different departments, such as myself working with the parts department, the service department, as well as the technicians, as well as the service advisors, uh, giving opinions, giving ideas, expressing all opinions and everybody's ideas in order to become more motivational and more encouraging throughout all of us, and getting certain skill levels to a set standard to where we can maneuver through each one of these job traits in a timely fashion order. And so by building these strengths, this builds a trust and a bond between me and all the other team members, to where they can be at ease and at a comfort, to where they know they can rely on me at any time when there's a certain situation that comes up, or we need to get parts ordered right away, or getting it overnighted, get the parts overnighted if we can, so we can get the job done in the next few days. That's what it puts in between us when it comes between strengths, and based off all of the team members and how we all correlate and how we correspond with through our communication. The last leadership theory trait would be the servant leadership. And as far as that goes, with me being an effective leader in the leadership role that I'm in, I take certain situations of how I would go about approaching certain situations in being in the leadership role that I'm in. And what I would do is develop a certain sense of coordinates between me and another team member, and giving them the responsibility of applying the leadership skills and traits and goals the same way that I would apply them, and giving them the sense of role of taking the lead and making sure that certain trait and those certain theories are applied correctly when certain situations are approached that way. So giving each different team members a sense of guidance and a sense of lead role to give them to allow them to embrace and inspire more motivation and more encouragement throughout all other team members, as we recycle through and pull in more opportunities of different employees and employers to work for the organization, so we can keep creating a sense of motivational encouragement to provide a larger amount of organizational leadership goals and successfulness. On the road now, we're still working in the parts department for Matthews Nissan. Um, Currently don't have a parts department manager anymore, so now I've taken the leading role of taking ownership of the parts department, and given these certain situations, um, some things kind of started sloping off a little bit, but not as much. We actually got it back in focus, got it back correctly and back on track like it needed to be, and we continued to work accordingly like it needed to be, and still were succeeding and achieving all goals that needed to be achieved. We were doing repair orders in a timely manner, and still doing repair orders in a timely manner. And given with all those points, uh, we're not backtracking from what we've learned and how we've all been educated and to what we know now. We're still applying these same leadership traits, still encouraging and showing the same motivational skills throughout all team members and any other new team members that may come aboard and work with us in the organization and in the department, whether you're a technician, an advisor, or working in the parts department with myself. Um, so, so as we continue to keep applying these same leadership skills and these leadership theories with traits into the department, we're going to show such benefits, and we're going to continue being beneficial for each department, increasing sale numbers with customer pay, increasing number in sales with customer pay, and showing our leadership accomplishments and with what is being applied to show that there is a significant difference in the departments and how we're working well with each other and working as a team and not working as just individual departments. We're seeing eye to eye and staying on track with everybody and on the same page. So therefore, when certain compliances are not met, we can actually be unanimous as a team and take the fall versus each department versus each individual or department not complying with what needed to be done in order to achieve certain goals. But still in my leading role in leadership organization, we're moving on into Capstone 1 and 2, which also has developed and moved into me being promoted and changing job positions and titles as a warranty administrator now. And this is currently still my leading role. I'm still applying all great leadership skills and all the leadership traits and roles that need to be performed. That has me applied with all the departments in the service department. So I have compliance with the service department, all the technicians, as well as a new parts department manager, as well as all with accounting, and as well with all of the sales department. Uh, Rolling into Capstone 1 and 2, we're applying action plans that give me certain ways of approaching and handling situations that need to be applied and relayed back and forth in communication when it comes to with the technician and service department as well as the parts department. We all are going over these guidelines and action plans, and we're applying each one of these action plans to the 100% fullest. So then that way, each one of us as a individual department, we can succeed and achieve each one of these goals that need to be met in order for us as a complete team to be 100% successful. And then that way it also increases the rates and the influential of other customers to come back to our store. This also spreads the words to other customers who believe in us and show great pride in our dealership for having other customers to come up there and come see us for any other opportunity that they may see that fits for them that's beneficial. As like of the other traits and throughout the organizational leadership for Capstone 1 and 2, we currently we come up with certain motivational skills, encouraging and encouragement level skills to encourage others, including the whole entire team, to apply all their efforts at a 100% base in order for each and every day and bi-weekly for the company to be successful and achieve all goals that need to be met. We're able to increase sales numbers in the service department as well as the parts department, including the sales department. We apply all these different all these different leadership theories and all these different leadership traits amongst throughout our day-to-day basis, throughout our day-to-day job skills, and as well as our keeping our open communication between each other. And so then that way we can continue our trust level of bond, a high trust level bond between each one, every single one of us, whether we're a technician, whether we work in the parts department, service, or accounting department, as also including the sales department. We'd like to show great pride and great enthusiasm and when doing our job and applying our job skills and what we need to do and what needs to be able to get done for any certain situation that is being approached. Uh, Man, I have come a long ways from when I first started into the program in 2018. Even since from 2017 when I first got was introduced to two employees as two loop technicians, and I was given the opportunity to be head leader of the express lane, working as a loop technician. And like I said, I've come a long way since I started the program 2 years ago in 2018 to now, and being currently as a warranty administrator. I have learned and developed so much knowledge from the organizational leadership between all the different leadership theory traits, going how about approaching these different theory traits, going about doing action plans, understanding the differences between behavior, ethics, and different leadership styles. Also, with this, I've learned to develop different strategies of encouraging motivation, giving encouragement to others to show them how to be more encouraging and motivate towards other team members as well. Um, Overall, as a leader, as I can say I am now, I am more developed and more matured in being more comfortable where I'm at now as a person and as a leader as well. These courses have trained and taught me so much more than I ever knew from before I even started the program. And so, yes, I feel like I am more of an equipped and more developed, inspirational and motivational leader. And I feel like I can take myself to the next level with this and use these same trait styles and apply it to anywhere else that I go and anybody else that comes into the organization, and be able to coach them and give them great advice and advise them on what direction to use between different leadership traits.